Hi, James Proctor here, Managing Director of the Intech Group. And the focus of today's video is on 10 best practices regarding cost optimization initiatives. Now, in today's fast-moving, rapidly changing, highly competitive business environment, the concept of effectiveness, efficiency, and agility is absolutely essential to the success in this environment. And cost optimization is an essential component of efficiency. Now, I have two companion videos related to this video. One is efficiency versus cost cutting. And in that particular video, I make important distinctions between the concept of effectiveness and efficiency, then between efficiency and cost cutting, and then between cost cutting and cost optimization. The other companion video is cost optimization, 3 essential strategies. And in that particular video, I talk about the concept of eliminate, automate, and delegate as 3 core strategies for cost optimization. Now, those 2 companion videos are not a prerequisite to this particular video, but I think if you watch the 3 videos, they're going to give you greater insight to the whole sphere of cost optimization. So, regardless of the cost optimization strategies and tactics that you ultimately choose, these 10 best practices for cost optimization, in my experience, apply to any cost optimization initiatives. And that's really the focus of today's video. The first of the 10 cost optimization best practices is to ensure that, or advocate for, cost optimization to be a strategic objective. Now, in any given planning cycle, right, there are going to be many strategic objectives that come out of it, and those strategic objectives will be aligned with organizations' forward-facing vision. Now, so strategic objectives are then cascaded down to operational management for execution. That's a very key point, right? At senior leadership, we do strategy and we identify strategic objectives and initiatives, but that work is actually carried out at the operational level of an organization. Now, the issue is if a cost optimization initiative is not part of a strategic objectives in the organization, then at that execution level, at the operational management level in the organization, a cost optimization initiative is just another initiative that execution level operational management has to deal with, among many other things, right? So for that particular initiative, it's contending with the many other initiatives, and the chance of that, if it's not a strategic objective, right, it's not going to get the talent, the budget, the mind share, the priority that it really needs to be effective, particularly when we're looking at cost optimization cross enterprise. So the takeaway here is that in any particular planning cycle, there's going to be many strategic objectives. And in a particular planning cycle, if cost optimization doesn't become a strategic objective, at some point it will. Right? It might be changes in the business cycles, changes in the economy. But at some point, cost optimization is going to be a major thing for somebody in leadership or a group of people in leadership to connect with, and then they're going to own cost optimization, right, as a strategic objective, and then we can then get that cascaded down and implement it properly at the operational level. The second of the 10 cost optimization best practices is to ensure a common understanding across the organization of cost optimization. Now, business concepts such as cost optimization are often ambiguous and not clearly understood across the organization. Agile is another great example. Right? Agile means different things to different people across the organization. Right? So the key thing is, with any business concept and any initiative around that concept, is to ensure it could be agile, it could be cost optimization, it could be business process reengineering, whatever the concept is have that clear common understanding, so everybody's really working from the same playbook. Now, conceptually, cost optimization, to add to the confusion, there are a number of industry standard definitions of the concept of cost optimization. So one I think is particularly on point is one put forth by the Gartner Group. Now the Gartner Group, if you're not familiar with them, they publish a lot. They do a lot of industry research across a lot of domains and put out a lot of good research in these areas. But let me read their definition of cost optimization, because I think it's pretty well aligned with the kind of concepts we're talking about here very well. All right, so the way Gartner Group defines cost optimization is cost optimization is a business-focused, continuous discipline to drive spending and cost reduction while maximizing business value. So a couple important takeaways from that definition is one is cost optimization is very different than indiscriminate cost cutting, right? Indiscriminate cost cutting means we're just cutting costs without really looking at the alignment with strategy, the alignment with cross enterprise. We're just cutting costs, right? We're not looking at strategic cost reduction. We're not looking at tactical cost reduction. So the takeaway here is let's focus on cost optimization, right? And for this definition, we're looking at cost optimization in terms of about maximizing the value of your cost optimization initiative, right, to get maximum returns from cost optimization. Hey, by the way, if you like the video so far, please just take a second and hit that like button and that subscribe button below, because this ensures the algorithm and indicates to the algorithm to serve you the best possible content that's relevant to you. Also, leave a comment. Feel free to leave a comment. If you like something, let me know. Maybe you have a question about something, let me know. Maybe there's something you disagree with it. Let me know. Leave a comment, because all those comments really gives me great insight into what kind of things you're thinking about, people are looking for, and helps me optimize and create the best experience for you. Okay, let's get back to the main content, which is the 10 best practices for cost optimization initiatives. The third cost optimization best practice is to perform a cost optimization from a cross-enterprise business process perspective. Now, certainly we can do a cost optimization on a standalone basis, or we could do cost optimization as part of a broader, maybe business process re-engineering initiative. But regardless, right, whatever approach you take, we definitely want to look at cost optimization cross-enterprise perspective. Now, there are three key reasons for looking at cost optimization from a cross-enterprise business process perspective. So the first of the three reasons for approaching cost optimization from a business process perspective is that it mitigates what we call process sub-optimization. Now, the concept of it's a big word, but the concept of process sub-optimization says that we can make a change, a potential improvement in one part of the business process in a particularly narrow functional slice of the process in some part of the organization, that in that narrow slice, it appears to be an improvement, and it potentially is. But when we look at it across the entire end-to-end business process, this improvement in this part of the organization could actually have a negative impact maybe somewhere downstream in the business process. And that impact downstream could actually have a more negative effect on the end-to-end business process in terms of effectiveness and efficiency than the cost savings that we created in this narrow slice. Or another way to look at it is what I call indiscriminate cost cutting, right? If we don't look at I like to use the word cost reduction when we think of cost optimization, right? We look at strategic cost reduction, we look at tactical cost reduction, but if we're not looking at across the enterprise, right, it's just indiscriminate cost cutting, because all the components of a business process, the work activities, the procedures, the workflow, all these things are interconnected across the organization, up and down the vertical hierarchy of the organization. So we really aren't optimizing cost if we're not looking at it, if we're only looking at it in a narrow slice. Even if your initiative is not cross-enterprise, I would still take a kind of that enterprise view, even though maybe you're working in one department or one functional area of the organization on cost optimization. It's really not cost optimization unless we look at that particular change and where we reduce cost. Let's look at it upstream and downstream in the process a little bit, just to ensure we don't have a detrimental or a negative impact somewhere else in the process that was created by that cost reduction in that narrow slice of the organization. The second reason to approach cost optimization from a cross-enterprise perspective is that it helps to mitigate what's called cumulative error. Now, what cumulative error is, the basic concept is an error or defect propagates through a business process linearly, the cost of remediating or fixing that defect grows exponentially. Now, when I talk about business systems requirements and business analysis, I make it, the comment I like to make there is the best time to identify a business system requirement and the best time to analyze it and get it right is during analysis. A really bad time to identify or to find that we've missed a key requirement or we've got the requirement wrong is when it goes live into production, right? Similarly, right, in the concept of cost optimization, the best time to identify a cost optimization opportunity and to analyze it and get it right is during the analysis phase of cost optimization. Because if we get it wrong, we don't get the cost to value, we don't analyze cost to value, we get the factors wrong, what that's going to lead to is suboptimal selection of cost optimization opportunities from the backlog. In other words, there may be some opportunities we would select over other opportunities had we got the analysis right. So that's the key thing there. Now, the concept of a opportunity backlog, I'm going to talk about more about a cost optimization opportunity backlog when we get into cost optimization best practice number 5, which is to approach cost optimization from an agile mindset. The third reason for approaching cost optimization from a cross-enterprise perspective is that it enables process harmonization. Now, the concept of process harmonization is that we want to perform business process consistently right across the organization, across the enterprise. And so a simple example, let's suppose, for example, we have two customer billing operations. We have a customer billing operation on the East Coast, and we have a customer billing operation on the West Coast. And the East Coast customer billing operation deals with customers in the East Coast region, maybe the Southeast region, maybe the Midwest region. And that West Coast customer billing operation deals with maybe the Southwest region, the Mountain region, and the West Coast region. I guarantee, absolutely guarantee, if we're doing customer billing, right, in different operations, same concept, customer billing, but over time they're going to evolve a little differently, and we're going to handle customer billing at least from a workflow kind of a procedural perspective on the East Coast, maybe differently than we do on the West Coast. So there's going to be variation in business process. Now, the beauty of variation in business process, right, and the whole reason for talking about process harmonization is that if there's variation in business process, that means we can look for opportunities for best practices, right? Because all variation, we look for positive and negative variation, and all positive variation means is that that's the best practice. So we want to harmonize, right, those processes on best practices. Now, from a cost optimization perspective, right, we can look for cost optimization opportunities in process harmonization. Now, we can look at it from maybe there's opportunities to consolidate both of those billing operations into one consolidated, centralized operation, if you will. There's some economies of scale there. Perhaps there's a business case to keep them those operations separate from other for other reasons as well, right? It doesn't really matter, but the important point here is thinking about cost optimization from a process harmonization perspective gives us another way to identify cost optimization opportunities. Okay, in this video I've identified and we've discussed 3 of the 10 business process optimization initiative best practices. Okay, to get a full treatment, all 10 best practices, I'd love to download. I have a detailed white paper that includes the first 3 plus the other 7, so all 10 of them. The white paper, the link to that white paper is in the show notes, and you can also go to our website, www.inteqgroup.com, and in the top menu bar, there's something called the Knowledge Hub, and the white paper will be available there in the Knowledge Hub as well. Okay, James Proctor signing off, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye.